Sumerian Society, Chapter 2, Section 2. Essential question. What social classes made up Sumerian society? Sumerian society was divided into several classes, with kings at the top and slaves at the bottom. Sumerian society divides into several social classes. Social classes define who has the power and who does the undesirable jobs. So kings would be at the top, they would be the ones that have the power, and slaves are at the bottom of the social classes and they do the undesirable jobs. Social classes, upper class. Here you have kings and priests at the top of the upper class. Thought they had a link to the gods, and so they had great influence over people because people thought that they had this connection with gods. They allowed these people to have a lot of power. Also in this class, you have landowners, government officials, and rich merchants. Middle class. This class includes all other free people. This would have mostly like artisans and farmers. And most people were of the in-between class, in the middle class. Lower class, you have slaves. Some had rights, like they could conduct their own business, borrow money, and eventually they could buy their own freedom. Some societies used slaves as a form of cheap labor. In Sumer, slaves were war prisoners, orphans, poor children, debtors. The role of women. And this is a Sumerian votive statue that we will look at later in class, and this is of a woman. Women were included in all social classes. Upper class women were priestesses. They could own land, they could work as merchants, artisans, and weavers, and their primary role was to raise children. Women had more rights in early Sumer than in later Mesopotamia. So as time went on, women lost more and more of their rights. Sumerian scientific developments. What scientific developments did the Sumerians make? Sumerians invented tools and developed special knowledge to improve their lives. Early inventions. This includes the plow, which is around 6000 BC. This was important for farming. It was either pushed or pulled by people and then eventually by animals. And this helped farmers get a lot of work done a lot quicker. The wheel was invented in 3500 BC in Mesopotamia, used for transportation, and it was also used as a potter's wheel, that thing that spins around really fast as you form a vase. And this made the production of pottery faster and better. Pots were also important because they helped store the surplus food. Mathematics. Developed to keep records of crops and trade. It was based on the number 60, thinking minutes and seconds. That's how we tell time. And this helped with the development of calendars. A written language. During 3000 BC, the Sumerians developed their own written language. And this was for business records and to label goods. This helped them keep track of trade. First, they used clay tokens with image of products such as a cow. Sealed tokens in containers marked with the symbol of the product. These symbols were pictographs, and pictographs is like picture writing. First, they would show objects, and then later these stood for ideas and sounds, kind of like our alphabet, if you think A stands for the sound A. Cuneiform. First, pictographs showed actual objects, but later stood for ideas. Eventually, they stood for sounds, like I said, combining sounds to write words. They would use a sharp reed or a stylus to make wedge-shaped markings in clay. these pictures replaced by cuneiform, which is this type of writing. And it's wedge-shaped symbolic writing. And it's very complex. It has over 6,000 different symbols, and few people could read or write with it. So because it was so complex, they had scribes, and these were professional record keepers, and they were highly respected. First they used for business, the writing for business, but later they started to record history. All right, this is the end of this flipped lesson. Don't forget to read, take notes, and answer your quiz questions. Bye.